Hi everyone! For today's lesson, we're going to explore the brain and the cranial nerves. The brain is the control center of the body that processes information and coordinates thoughts, emotions, movements, and vital functions. It has three major parts: the cerebellum, and brainstem. Each has a unique role in keeping us alive and functioning. First, let's talk about the cerebellum. The cerebellum is the largest part of the brain and is responsible for higher thinking, memory, senses, and voluntary movement. It is divided into two hemispheres and has four lobes. So the cerebellum is the largest part, covering most of the brain's surface. When you're studying, you mostly use your cerebellum. It is divided into two hemispheres that work together, and these hemispheres contain four lobes, each with different functions. The two hemispheres of cerebellum. The left hemisphere is responsible for logic, language, and mathematical skills, while the right hemisphere is responsible for creativity, intuition, and spatial awareness. The two hemispheres are connected by the corpus callosum, which allows communication between them. So basically, the left hemisphere is more active when you write an essay or solve problems, while your right hemisphere is engaged when you are painting or playing music. Both halves are connected by the corpus callosum, which acts like a bridge to help them share information. The four lobes of cerebellum. The frontal lobe manages decision-making, reasoning, problem-solving, and voluntary movement. For example, when you decide to raise your hand, your frontal lobe gives the command. Second, the parietal lobe. It processes sensations such as touch, temperature, pain, and spatial awareness, like feeling the warmth of sunlight on your skin. Third, we have the temporal lobe. It is important for hearing, memory, and understanding language, such as recognizing a friend's voice. And fourth, the occipital lobe. It is mainly responsible for processing visual information, which lets you read the word on the slides. Now let's move on to the cerebellum. It is located below the cerebellum at the back of the brain. It maintains balance and posture for the body. It coordinates smooth and precise movements. The cerebellum makes sure our movements are controlled and balanced. Just like when you walk on a narrow path, your cerebellum keeps you steady. It also ensures smooth movements like when writing neatly or playing the piano. We also have the brainstem. It connects the brain to the spinal cord and regulates vital functions such as breathing and heartbeat. The brainstem is made up of midbrain, pons, and medulla. The midbrain controls reflexes and eye movement. For example, when your eyes quickly move toward a sudden flash of light, the midbrain is active. The pons regulate breathing, sleep, and facial expression. Just like when you're sleeping peacefully, the pons help control your breathing rhythm. And the medulla oblongata. It manages vital functions such as a heartbeat, blood pressure, and digestion. It keeps your heart beating even if you are unconscious. Now let's move on to the cranial nerves. There are 12 pairs of cranial nerves that emerge directly from the brain. They are responsible for sensory and motor functions in the head and neck. Each cranial nerve has a specific number, name, and role. There are 12 cranial nerves in total. They exit through different openings in the skull and allow us to sense the world, move our muscles, and even control internal organs. The 12 pairs of cranial nerves. First, we have the olfactory nerve. It is located in the cribriform plate and is responsible for sense of smell. Second, we have the optic nerve. It is located in the optic foramen and is responsible for vision. Third, we have the oculomotor nerve. It is located in the superior orbital fissure and controls most eye movements and pupil size. Fourth, we have the trochlear nerve. It is also located in the superior orbital fissure and controls the movement of one eye muscle. The olfactory nerve goes through the cribriform plate and gives us the sense of smell, like when we recognize the scent of flowers. The optic nerve passes through the optic foramen and allows us to see. Both the oculomotor and trochlear nerves pass through the superior orbital fissure. The oculomotor nerve moves most of our eye muscles, open our eyelids, and even make our pupils shrink in bright light. For example, when you follow a moving ball with your eyes, or when your pupils get smaller under the sun, while the trochlear controls one muscle for eye rotation. This nerve is responsible when you look down at your phone while holding it close to your chest. Fifth, we have the trigeminal nerve. It is also located in the superior orbital fissure and provides sensation to the face and controls chewing. Sixth, we have the abducens nerve. It is located in the superior orbital fissure and controls the lateral movement of the eye. Seventh is the facial nerve. It is located in the internal acoustic meatus and controls facial expressions and taste at the front of the tongue. Eighth, we have the vestibulocochlear nerve. It is also located in the internal acoustic meatus and responsible for hearing and balance. The trigeminal nerve is the largest cranial nerve and it passes through the sphenoid bone. It is responsible for that painful sensation when you accidentally bite your cheek. It has three main branches, but for now, it's enough to remember that it covers the eyes, cheeks, and jaw. The abducens nerve passes through the superior orbital fissure and lets us move our eyes sideways just like when you glance to the side to copy from your seatmate's paper. The facial nerve travels through the internal acoustic meatus and exits at the stylomastoid foramen, allowing us to make facial expressions and taste on the front of the tongue. For example, when you taste something sweet like chocolate, the front part of your tongue senses it through this nerve. It also makes you tear up when you cry or produce saliva when eating. The vestibulocochlear nerve also uses the internal acoustic meatus and is in charge of our hearing and balance. This nerve carries the sound signals when you listen to the music through your earphones. We also have the glossopharyngeal nerve. It is located in the jugular foramen and controls taste at the back of the tongue and helps in swallowing. This nerve helps us taste bitter flavors at the back of the tongue like coffee. It also assists in swallowing food. Next is the vagus nerve. It is also located in the jugular foramen and regulates the functions of the heart, lungs, and digestive system. It slows the heartbeat when you're resting and helps digestion after eating. It also controls the voice box when you shout or sing. Then, the accessory nerve. It is located in the jugular foramen and controls muscles of the neck and shoulders. Just like when you shrug because you don't know the answer or when you turn your head to look behind you. And lastly, the hypoglossal nerve. It is located in the hypoglossal and controls tongue movements for speech and swallowing. For example, when you stick your tongue out or move it to say words clearly. It also helps push food down while swallowing. To sum it up, the brain is our body's command center and is divided into the cerebrum, cerebellum, and brainstem, each with specialized functions that controls thoughts, movements, senses, and survival processes, while cranial nerves are the brain's messengers. The 12 cranial nerves serve as communication pathways between the brain and the rest of the body, allowing us to smell, see, hear, taste, move, and regulate vital organs. Without them, we couldn't think, move, or even survive. I hope you learned today. Bye!